Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we explore Stop Worrying. Your bond is stronger than you think. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, worrying is an all too common companion. Often, the feeling arises when there's a lack of certainty or fear of losing something valuable. Relationships, by their very nature, involve deep emotional investments, and as a result, the thought of them unraveling or changing can trigger anxiety. However, what if you stopped worrying? What if you trusted the bond you've built with others and allowed it to strengthen in ways that only trust and understanding can nurture? The idea of worry in relationships is not a new concept. It's something humans have dealt with for centuries. But today, with the advent of modern communication tools and social media, there's an overwhelming amount of noise that can amplify anxiety. The real question, though, is not about eliminating worry entirely, but understanding why your bond with others is stronger than you think and how to embrace it without letting fear control your actions. Understanding the root of worry. Before we can address how to stop worrying, it's important to understand what worry actually is. At its core, worry is a form of mental stress, an anxious anticipation of future events. It often stems from the fear of loss, rejection, or abandonment. In the context of relationships, this could manifest as fear of disconnection, worrying that your bond with someone will weaken over time, especially with distance or life changes. Fear of inadequacy, believing that you are not enough to sustain the relationship or that you might fail in some way. Fear of change, resisting the natural evolution of a relationship and worrying that growth or transformation will lead to the end of the connection. While these fears are deeply human, they are often magnified by overthinking or by external factors like societal pressures or past experiences. When these worries are allowed to dominate your thoughts, they can lead to emotional distress and even harmful behaviors such as clinging, avoiding, or overanalyzing. But most of the time, these fears are disproportionate to the actual reality. The psychology behind relationship anxiety. Worry is not just a random thought, but a psychological process deeply tied to our emotional well-being. The brain, in its evolutionary design, is wired to focus on potential threats, a survival mechanism that keeps us alert to dangers. This negative bias causes us to focus on what could go wrong rather than what is going right. In relationships, this translates into an overestimation of potential threats. For example, if your partner is quiet or distant for a day, you might immediately jump to conclusions, fearing that something is wrong or that the relationship is in trouble. The same logic applies to friendships and family bonds. A lack of communication, a small disagreement, or a missed birthday could trigger doubts that undermine your sense of security. However, when we allow this kind of anxiety to dominate, we overlook the underlying strengths and foundations of the relationship. Trust, shared history, mutual respect, and emotional closeness are the key components that keep relationships solid. These factors rarely fade quickly, even if there are temporary disruptions. Why your bond is stronger than you think? There are several reasons why your bond with others is likely stronger than you give it credit for. By shifting your perspective and recognizing these factors, you can begin to ease your worries and reinforce the trust in your relationships. 1. Emotional investment creates a strong foundation. When you care about someone, whether it's a partner, a close friend, or a family member, there's an inherent investment of time, energy, and emotions. This investment does not disappear overnight. If you've spent years building a connection, the emotional bonds you've created are not fragile or easily undone by temporary setbacks or misunderstandings. Emotional bonds have a stickiness to them. Shared memories, experiences, and emotions create a network of connections in the brain that reinforce the sense of attachment. This bond provides a psychological safety net that helps you weather challenges. Even when things get tough, your bond has a depth that simply isn't destroyed by a bad day or a disagreement. 2. Relationships are dynamic, not static. One common reason people worry about their relationships is that they perceive them as static entities. They believe that if a relationship isn't perfect at all times, it's broken. In reality, relationships are dynamic and constantly evolving. People grow, change, and go through phases that may alter the way they interact with each other. These changes don't necessarily signal the end of the relationship. In fact, they can often strengthen it. Whether it's a romantic partnership that evolves from infatuation to deep, abiding love, or a friendship that deepens over years of shared experiences, relationships grow. Growth means flexibility and adaptability, and sometimes it involves facing challenges that ultimately lead to greater understanding and resilience. 3. You share a history. One of the most significant reasons your bond is stronger than you think is the shared history between you and the other person. The memories, experiences, and milestones you've navigated together create a narrative of connection that cannot be easily erased. For instance, a long-term relationship or friendship isn't built solely on the highs, those quiet, shared moments, the challenges you've overcome together, and the compromises you've made are what truly cement the bond. Even during difficult periods, these memories act as a reminder of your resilience as a team and the emotional investment that both of you have made. 4. You have shared values and goals. Strong relationships are often rooted in shared values and goals. Whether you're partners in a marriage, family members, or close friends, a deep bond is built upon a foundation of shared principles, ethics, and visions for the future. This alignment gives the relationship direction and purpose, ensuring that it can withstand periods of uncertainty. When you're in sync with someone, you can approach challenges together, knowing that your mutual commitment to each other's happiness and well-being is at the core of your connection. Even if one person faces a personal crisis or difficult season, the other partner often steps in with support because of this shared vision for the future. 5. Communication is a bridge, not a barrier. While worry often stems from a lack of communication, it's important to remember that effective communication can be a powerful tool in strengthening relationships. When you're able to openly and honestly communicate with each other, you can clarify misunderstandings, express your feelings, and reassure one another. The key is not just talking but listening, actively understanding the other person's perspective, and validating their emotions. Miscommunication is one of the primary causes of anxiety in relationships, but when both parties are committed to fostering clear and open dialogue, worries often dissipate. 6. Your actions speak louder than your worries. Finally, it's important to recognize that your actions are often a much clearer representation of the strength of your bond than any passing worry or doubt. Love, care, and respect are demonstrated through actions, not just words. The ways in which you support each other, make compromises, and show up for each other in times of need reflect the depth of your connection. Even when worries creep in, if you continue to act with love, kindness, and respect, the bond remains solid. Worry doesn't diminish the love you express through your behavior. How to stop worrying and strengthen your bond. Now that we've explored why your bond is stronger than you think, how can you begin to stop worrying and trust in that strength? The following strategies can help you shift your focus from anxiety to confidence in your relationship. 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a technique that involves staying present in the moment rather than getting caught up in fears of the future. When you find yourself worrying about your relationship, take a step back and focus on the here and now. Notice the positive aspects of your connection, the love, the support, the history you've shared. 2. Challenge negative thoughts. When you worry, you often fall into cognitive distortions, irrational ways of thinking that exaggerate the worst-case scenario. Take time to challenge these thoughts by asking yourself, what evidence do I have that this worry is true? What are the facts? More often than not, you'll find that the things you're fearing are based on assumptions, not reality. 3. Open up and communicate. If you're feeling anxious about a relationship, talking about your feelings with the other person can be incredibly grounding. When you express your concerns openly, it provides an opportunity for mutual reassurance and understanding. 4. Invest in quality time. Building memories together strengthens your bond and reduces the likelihood of worries creeping in. Spend time engaging in activities that bring you both joy, whether it's a simple walk, a shared meal, or a fun outing. 5. Let go of perfection. No relationship is perfect, and trying to achieve perfection is often a major source of stress. Accepting the impermanence and messiness of relationships allows you to embrace them for what they are: complex, beautiful, and sometimes imperfect, but still. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. See you in the next video.